1 month ago, we launched a website for a brand new concrete lifting company out of Connecticut. And just a month later, they are popping up atop Google and AI searches for a variety of different highly profitable search terms. So, what we're looking at here is just a trend of different keywords and searches that we track. And as you can see here, in just a month's time, they are starting to pop up for some very, sought after sorts of searches that homeowners or business owners might do. Best concrete lifting company, concrete leveling, lifting, raising near me, pool deck lifting. So all these now are different searches that they are popping up for, and potentially, driving traffic to their website and leading to some calls. Now, how did we do this? All we did was build out the website the right way and make sure that it was better than anybody else's in the area. And so at the end of the day, we just have to beat out the competitors to get, popping up for a lot of opportunities. And then we have to make sure that the website does a few things. Ultimately, when it's built out the right way, it contains a lot of questions and answers, and it addresses the fears of homeowners. Because again, people don't know what concrete lifting is by and large. Most customers don't have a clue about it. They just know they have a problem at their home. Perhaps it's a trip hazard or pooling water, what have you. So the way that we build out this website, it's very large. It's a brand new website, so we really are just targeting residential. But each one of these pages goes into a ton of depth. And so I'll just kind of walk through the homepage here, point out a few things, but ultimately it's about building trust with the consumer, addressing their fears, answering their questions because they don't know this space. So we've got to give them everything that they're looking for. So, we'll layer in things like animation to show exactly what's going on. We've got some nice photos. And by the way, the only thing that we really asked of the business owner was please get in front of your rig, take some smiling photos with your family. And that stuff, it's gold online. I mean, it just makes it everybody likable, and people want to hire people they like. All right, so coming down, you'll see lots of proof before and after. So visually, it resonates with prospective customers. They can see their problem visually. And then we get into all the different residential settings that people have problems with. And each one of these is going to link to those respective pages here. But coming down, you'll see we go through the process quickly, lots of graphics, more before and afters. And then we get into all different types of FAQs, and we break those up by sections that are relevant. But each one of these allows us to answer these questions. And by the way, with AI searches so prominent now, people will grab their phone and they will, ask questions. Why is water pooling near my driveway? And if you have that terminology on there, it just makes it much easier for you to get found on Google, on AI. And ultimately, you directly answer somebody's questions so they don't have to go searching for that information elsewhere. So it all works together. You're building assets here by building out these websites the right way and making them larger and more proof driven than your competitors. And so that's kind of a look at the homepage. And then if we take a look, for instance, at the About Us page, here again, we just want to be able to make people like the business owner possibly as much as we can. So we, again, nice smiling photos. They've even got the newborn baby there. So all that stuff, people want to hire smiling people rather than just some nameless, faceless, LLC. So, beautiful additions there with the personalization and the family. And then we get into all the problem areas that people have around their homes. So let's take driveways, for example. You'll notice we've got, animation here again that just goes right into the exact setting that this homeowner is having. This clearly makes the process, just very visual and easily understood by homeowners. And so we lead with that, and then we've got more before and afters, examples of problems. So maybe it's trip hazards, maybe it's pooling water on the driveway, but you'll notice this is not just generic content. It's all detailed and oriented to the individual setting at hand. And so that just, again, that helps with getting found because we were able to address all these questions, answer with all this content. So it helps with getting found online, and ultimately it helps with converting the customer when we have all this information and all this proof. And so that's kind of how we go about building out city or service pages. And you'll see we've got a variety of those for all the different areas because, again, each one is going to have different concerns than the other. in terms of the different settings. Talk about pool decks. People have so many questions about $100,000 pool deck, which is a totally different customer than, let's say, a driveway customer. So we actually answer questions specific to the setting at hand. And ultimately, when you can go into that level of detail, you're going to sell and you're going to get found. And again, that's the recipe with all this. So we basically that same sort of setup for all these. And then while they're a new business, we did set up one individual commercial page, but we usually will take the same approach in building out all the different sorts of commercial settings if that is something that the business owner wants to do. So same idea. But ultimately, this is what wins. This is what helps them position themselves atop the market on search. And ultimately, that converts people once they actually get on the website because they're impressed. What they see here is far ahead of what their competitors would have, and so it just makes it easy for the customer to want to call. So that is ultimately the winning recipe, and that's how we go from nowhere to some top spots in just a month here. And ultimately, what's most important is they're already driving business and calls and getting compliments on the website, which is just helping them just sell more and more jobs. So that's how we do it. All right, take care.